I always like to say that Gary made me. Like there's a phrase. I don't know if people have ever heard this phrase, but if you're from Gary, you can live anywhere. And I truly, honestly believe that. And there's something edgy about being from Gary, and then the perception when you meet people outside in the diaspora. It's amazing that they all know Gary, and usually it's from Roosevelt and Michael Jackson and the steel mill. Like I always want to make like to make my city proud. There's this level of ownership that we have, being from Gary. It was great back then. I mean, we had a real strong community. I never really had to leave my community to play sports or to do anything. That's all I really wanted to do anyway, was play sports. So on my block alone, there was probably like 15 kids. I mean, literally from one corner to the next corner, it was like 15 kids on my side of the block. And then on the other side of the block, probably about 5 or 6 additional kids. So we had baseball games. We could play it and chase and tag, and we threw apples at each other and all kind of stuff like that. I mean, that was really a game, like having apple fights. So, it was a great time growing up. It was a really, really good area to be in. I would say that the majority of the people that I grew up with come from two-parent homes. The majority of all my friends in the community had their mother and father there. So that just gives you a pretty good scope of what that community was like. You learn daily lessons almost every day. I mean, almost every day. Because in that day, parents didn't really your neighbors didn't have a problem reaching out and touching you, or either reprimanding you or putting you to the side and talking to you. You know what I mean? So it just seems like today that a lot of parents, they befriend their children, and they don't really want anybody chastising or talking to their children. So in that day, you could walk freely and go from house to house. I mean, literally on a summer day in my neighborhood, you might visit 4 or 5 different houses, just playing games. You just go from one person's house to the next person's house, eat lunch, get water, or whatever. It's kind of like every time you came in contact with them, they had some type of lesson for you. We lived in that little bubble of Tolleson area, and we really never had to leave the area to do anything. There was a good grocery store there. There was recreation there. There was little leagues there. There was basketball there. There was baseball there. We could ride our bikes around a little park. There's 2 schools. Like, I talked to kids today, and they want to go, to the movies or whatever, but they didn't have a way to get there, because all of the movies, there is no local movie inside of Gary, Indiana anymore. You have to go to Maryville, to watch the movies. So all of those community amenities are so far away now that that makes it a little more difficult for the kids to have that type of fun. Now, as far as the community now, actually, the Boys and Girls Club bought that property that used to be Tolleson Middle School right across the street from my house. So I really get excited when I get off work, on a warm and nice day, and I walk past, and there are literally 70, 80, 90 kids out there playing. And it just, it just does something to my heart to see those kids out there playing, because it kind of reminds me of how it was when I was coming up. So I'm really, really excited that they got that Boys and Girls Club there. I'm not so excited about, like the abandoned homes and abandoned buildings and dried up businesses. That kind of affects me a little bit. But I think that's one of the reasons why I'm there, and people, like me, stay in the community, so that we provide the kids with an outlet, so they can see that, you can be an administrator, or you can be, a school teacher, or you can be a professional athlete, or you can be a police officer, or achieve, greater things than what they're surrounded by.